Guys, VideoJames, and this is going to be top 5 recommended utility apps for the Kindle Fire version 7 and up. Now, reason I'm recording this is because A, Kindles are extremely difficult to use, and B, you can almost never get anything done with what the Kindle gives you. But also because instead of putting Spider-Man up today, I decided it would be better if I moved him to Tuesday, because since I usually record Spider-Man on Mondays, I don't have time to record it on Mondays anymore, so I actually have to end up pushing it back to Tuesday. I will have time to record Spider-Man next Monday and put it up that Monday, because I won't have school and I only have the other place I have to go to. So I'll only have to go and record Spider-Man for Tuesday for basically every day except next Monday, but it's going to end up getting pushed back to Tuesday, so that's something I thought you guys should know. Also, this allergy thing that I've had going on has been going on for the past few days. So, if it sounds like my voice is dull, it might not only be because I have the Kindle balanced on a curtain to try and keep it still. Not a curtain, but more like a blind, but I have it balanced on something and it's blocking the microphone. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start with my top 5 recommended utilities for YouTube. Or, not YouTube. For a Kindle Fire 7 and up. So, this isn't in any order. You can put these in any order you want. Some of you guys may not need. I personally enjoy them just because they make my life so much easier. But the first app I'm going to talk about is Photo Editor. Now, what this is it basically lets you do a whole bunch of photos, such as effect changes, crops, rotate, resize. Like, for instance, I'll show you. If you go into Photos, and we'll take a photo from my device, like I'll use this picture of Bumblebee. I told you guys Bumblebee was my favorite Transformer. You should have expected to see that. And like, see, you have the picture of Bumblebee, and then you have all these stuff over here. Photo Editor lets you basically do all that. Now, when you're using it, I recommend only using the crop free, because the crop normal is basically just the suckier version. The crop normal doesn't have as many features as the crop free, because it just decides to do a box program by numbers. But you can do a whole bunch of stuff with the effects. Like, if you go into Effect, you'll see we have all these color changes in that, like Autotone. And then we have stuff like Vivid, Bloom. But we also, and this is what I used to make that Green Ninja picture you saw earlier, we have Edge. So that basically makes the photo look a lot cooler. So like you can see, instead of just using the inside of the pictures, they basically just made the outlines the color. And that, in my opinion, is one of the best features of this photo editor. But you can basically use this to make better pictures on your Kindle. You can use it to make thumbnails for YouTube like I do. This is what I actually use to make thumbnails. And you can just use it for a whole bunch of other stuff. So that's why it's in my top 5 recommended utilities for YouTube. But then we'll be moving on to the next one. And I'm using SmartPixel to record this right now, and that's actually the one we're moving on to next. And what SmartPixel is basically a screen recorder, which I, for some reason, can't access right now, which is probably because I'm recording right now. But SmartPixel is basically a screen recorder, and it lets you upload to a place called GoPlay. But I found something that, for my Kindle, that I can just record a video and I'll be able to download it from SmartPixel without having to upload it. So, SmartPixel is one of my favorite apps for this, just because I use it to record YouTube so much, and I can use it for a whole bunch of other stuff, like I can use it for vlogs and stuff like that, but it's one of my top 5 favorite apps I have in my Kindle. And the next one would be the alarm clock. And this is one of those better alarm clocks. Now, the app is actually called Alarm Clock, and you can see it has this style here, this blue digi style. And not only is it an alarm clock, but you can actually tell the weather with it, and you can set the alarms to any music you want, at any volume, and you can choose a specific day to have that specific alarm go off. So, this is one of the coolest alarm clocks I've ever had, just because I used to have one of those annoying old alarm clocks that was basically like same style as this, in the number-wise, but it was red, and it only had one sound that came out of it, and it was like the most annoying. You know, like when you hear an alarm clock and you just picture that thing, that's what my old alarm clock was. And this one is so much better. And not only can you put music and stuff on it, but you can also swipe down and adjust the brightness of the alarm clock. So what I usually do is I put it on max brightness, just so that when I wake up, it'll actually try and get me to wake up. And that's like my second most used app on this Kindle, just because it's so useful, it has so many features, and I basically can't get enough of using it. Not to mention, waking up to music instead of a sound is pretty cool. Oh, you can also put sounds in it, by the way, I forgot to say that. Alright, and the next one is antivirus free. I don't know the official name, but it has this icon here, the little red shield with the white thing. And this is one of the best antivirus things, in my opinion, because other ones I've had don't really work as well. And what it does is basically, there's one button, and it's scan. There's the actual name, Bitdefender Antivirus Free. But what it does is it basically scans your entire device, and it tells you whether or not your device has a virus. So far I haven't had one, just because most of the stuff I have on this Kindle is like apps and stuff, and I rarely ever go on a website that gets a virus or anything like that. Most of the websites I go on are basically like Amazon and stuff like that. But anyway, it basically checks everything on your device, if you don't know what an antivirus does. And it says, you can actually see right here, it says I have nothing on it. And I don't know what happens if it does, but it has autopilot on, which means if you download an app onto your Kindle, it'll actually scan the app as it's coming in to see if it'll have a virus or not. So like say you had an app that you bought off the store, but someone wrote a review that said, oh, this has a virus in it, oh no. Well, this actually tells you if it has a virus or not. So this is probably the most used app on my Kindle, just because it basically protects the entire thing from shutting down. And the final recommended app I have for the Kindle is CC Cleaner. Well, C Cleaner. And if you don't know what this is, it basically scans all of your files. I don't know why it's sideways, but I'll just leave it like this. And it basically scans all your files and tells you how much storage you're using and how much RAM, and it lets you clear that out. I'm going to put it back to normal. So that's basically my top 5 recommended apps for the Kindle that I have. This is for Kindles 7 and up, because Kindles 6th generation, or not 6th generation, Kindles 6 and below kinda didn't have as much of the usefulness that the Kindles have nowadays. And these Kindles are actually way more advanced in a lot of stuff. So those are the top 5 apps I recommend for Kindles 7 and up. Well, Kindles 7 edition and up. And like I said, I'm going to be pushing Spider-Man back to tomorrow, just because Mondays I don't usually have time to record it, and Tuesdays are usually going to be better for me. But Spider-Man will come out. I promise you, I'm not going to stop recording Spider-Man until the very end. And I know some of you guys are going to be like, no, please stop it, we don't want to see this anymore. But I promised that I would take that series all the way to the end, and I never break a promise. But anyway, I'm going to leave this video here, so if you guys liked it, slap the like button as always, and I'll see you guys later.